Shalom, shalom. This your boy Mibakari, you know what I'm saying, True Hebrew, coming at you with another video, basically just talking about how I came into the truth. I kind of got inspired by Yala Israel. She had a video saying how she came into the truth of knowing that she was an Israelite. So I was like, that kind of inspired me to say, well, let me tell people about my journey and tell them like how I came into the truth. I'm just going to start off saying, basically I grew up in Christianity. So to speak, grew up in Christianity, you know what I'm saying? My mom was, you know, one of those devout Christians. I was going to church Sundays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, choir practices, usher board meetings, all that stuff. And my dad, he really didn't believe in anything. He just believed in, you know, he believed in God, whatever. That's about it. He believed in God. And basically, I remember my earliest memory of going to church was like, I was like probably like first or second grade. And I used to go to this church, and it was like, it's like real religious, or I shouldn't say real religious, but it's real traditional type church, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have, during Christmas, they'll have the Christmas tree up. Easter, you're doing the Easter egg hunt on the church ground. And then, you know, all the holidays you really celebrating at the church. So basically, that's one of my earliest memories. You know, I was in the primary class, and basically at this church, every time you do Sunday school, you go and you'll share what you learned with everybody that was in Sunday school. You have to get up from everybody and speak or whatever. So you know, I used to like that part because you know it gives everybody opportunity to you know see what you learned, whatever that case may be or whatever. But anyway, moving along, you know, I grew up trying to get involved in the church or whatever. I really, as I was growing up though, I also realized that I always had a sense of self, and, you know, about being black or whatever, black, you know, growing a little black boy, you know what I'm saying? And I always wondered, like, how come I'm looking at these, like, the windows in the church, like the stained glass window, and all of them got like, you know, no offense, got like white folks on it, whatever. They ain't saying nothing wrong with that, but you just think like, dang, ain't no black people in the Bible, or, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no black folks or nobody with no color to them. Everybody's, you know, just white, which at the time it didn't really, you know, it didn't really faze me, whatever. I was like, all right, whatever. But as I started growing up, you know what I'm saying, in church, I was like, you know, it kind of got brainwashed into my head, to be honest with you. And I really didn't even realize it until then, you know. When I hit about 12 years old, they had like this thing at church called the Young People's Christian Assembly. And you know, everybody from the age of 12 to 18 would go to Benedict College down in South Carolina. And you go down there basically, and it's like a little party. I don't want to say it's like a party, let me rephrase that. It's supposed to be where you go and you learn about God or whatever. You learn about Jesus and stuff and different aspects of being a Christian and, you know, things of that nature. So you're supposed to go down there and that's what you're supposed to do. But instead, like, that's not what none of us went for, you know what I'm saying? Because all of us wanted to go down there and go to the parties. Like, they had like these little socials, whatever they so to speak called socials. And at the social, you know, you dance or whatever. But you're not really, you know what I'm saying? You know, you dance with the females that you're not supposed to be. Chaperones, they were like, at the time, like 22, 23. So they're not really paying you no mind. They're trying to dance too. But it's supposed to be like a Christian event. So growing up, I knew that if you did something wrong, all you had to do is ask Jesus to forgive you, and then you're good. You know what I'm saying? You're good to go. You ain't got to worry about it. So, so basically, that's my experience of going to Young People's Christian Assembly. And I went for 3 years. I went when I was 12, 13, and 14. So I went for 3 years. Basically, as I got older, I remember meeting this dude. Well, actually, I didn't meet the dude, but it was one of my friends, and his name was Tellus. And basically, he would be like, he always tried to come at me because he was an Israelite, or so to speak. You know, he was in the truth. And this one, I was like, what? This was like 17, 18, somewhere in there, 19. And he was just always coming at me. He wasn't really coming at me, but he would just be like, you know, man, you know who you are and stuff. The Bible's a black history book. You know, little phrases like that. You ever open up your Bible? And I'm just looking at him like, you know, okay. You know, not really paying no mind, just like one out the other. Even though it was my homeboy or whatever was cool, I was just like, I see him, he'll come at me, and then that's it. See him come at me, that's it. You know what I'm saying? That was it. So basically, I let it go. But that was the first time back like in 03, 04 when I heard somebody talking about Israelites and Bible being a Black history book and the truth and, you know, all that stuff. So, but like I said, at the time it was one in one ear out the other. I had moved out of my parents' house. By the time I'm 21, or let me phrase that, there was a little, you know, between I had my first child when I was 21. When I was 18, I had my first child when I was 21, and I decided at the time, like, you know, I'm gonna give up everything. I'm gonna give up drinking, smoking, all that stuff. I was just in, you know, whatever, because I knew all you had to do, you know, ask for forgiveness or whatever, and you're good to go. You know, Jesus will forgive you, and, you know, God will love you, and all this stuff, and you're good. So whatever, I do what I want to do, whatever, not really paying attention. By the time I'm 21, I had my first child. So I'm gonna give up everything. I'm not drinking. I'm not smoking. Not doing nothing. I'm gonna devote everything I got into my son at the time. You know, devote everything to him, and I don't want him to be leading by a bad example. You know what I'm saying? And this was around the time I say in my life where I would say like, okay, it's whatever's whatever. The world is all good, and there's no racism. I wouldn't say it like that. But I just really wasn't focused on that, you know what I'm saying? I really wasn't, you know, all that was like at the back of my mind. I just was real ignorant. Let me just break it down. I was very, very ignorant, you know, very, very, very ignorant, you know, to a lot of things. And even though like I had a feeling about, you know, like little stuff was growing up, you know what I'm saying? As a little kid, I was interested in Black stuff. And as I got older, about between like 18 and 20, 22, I really didn't care about that, you know what I'm saying? It really didn't spark interest in me again until I hit like 23. But anyway, so by this time I broke up with the mother of my child. I started with this other chick, which is my wife now. She was mad if I called her this other chick. But my wife now, I met her, and she was a different type of girl, you know what I'm saying? She really wasn't into all that, you know, club stuff. You know, she just had a different outlook on everything. You know, so seeing her outlook, sometimes I was just like, why she thinking that way? You know, why she got this, you know, this outlook on this? Why she thinking that way? And to me, I'm thinking it's like kind of twisted, but in reality, she was like probably like 98% of the time right. Even though to me it sounded twisted at the time. And for example, like let's say something about giving money to church, or you know, you should give your tithes, or whatever. Even though growing up I always thought it was a little sketchy. You know what I'm saying? I always thought it was in the Bible, you know, you got to give 10% to the pastor. That's what you're supposed to do. But then, like, talking to her, she would say it was all right, but she would be like, is there still something up with it? And I was just like, there's nothing up with it, you know. Even though she did it, or she would talk about doing it, she was still seemed like a little fishy. And, you know, her sister was like that too. Like, I ain't giving no money, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case may be. But that's just how the ignorance was, you know what I'm saying. Basically, I met her, and you know, and we got married, and I remember one time we had moved up to Virginia, and we started, you know, I say we weren't going to church, but every now and again we'd try to go to church, you know what I'm saying, because it's not the right thing to do, kids enjoyed it, or whatever, you know, try to be involved in, you know, being a Christian again, trying to do the right thing, you know, trying to, you know, whatever the case may be. So we was trying that, but it still seemed a little off. We went to this big church. Nobody really paid you no mind. You know, same pastor telling you the same thing, blah, blah, blah. Passing the collection plate around with dollars and dollars rolling out the basket, whatever the case may be. He was like, okay. Same old routine. So basically, she wasn't really up to going to church. And I was like, all right, whatever. You know, maybe we'll find somewhere different to go, you know, somewhere that, you know, kind of, you know, somewhere that's a little better, whatever, smaller, whatever. I don't know, something that'll show us like, you know, this is a church to go to, whatever. In case you're trying to find a church home back then.